Hi, and welcome to this week's CAFMA Connect. Chief Freitag is out. Actually, he's on his way back from Montana, where he was there doing some important business. But we'll fill in for him this week. So this week, I'm Assistant Chief Cody Rose, and I have our Administration Manager, Susanne Dixson, with us. And we're going to talk about things that they do in administration. So, Susanne, a little bit about what you do. And I'll tell you one of the things that I hear a lot of is there's 6 people in administration. Now there's 5, actually. There's 6 positions. But what does administration do other than answer phones?
Well, our primary function is to support the rest of the agency. So there are 6 of us, or 5 of us now, but typically 6 of us supporting the other 160-some people in the agency. So we do everything from fire protection agreements, we create POs, we manage board meetings and minutes and board packets, annexations, prevention, which is its own segment or series, construction. We manage the construction projects and business inspections for prevention. We try to manage the ideas that Chief Freitag comes when he stands at my door and says, I have an idea. Yeah. So then we try to kind of troubleshoot what does that mean for us? What kind of work does that mean? We do stuff for finance that they don't have time to do. So we take their documents and make them electronic and archive them. Records, I manage records, a lot of records.
Retention,
records.
Nazi.
I am a little bit of a Nazi, but only
it's
because
good,
it's so important.
Yes.
It's so important
Yes.
Because we're required by statute to do it. So,
Yeah. And when we have the attorneys calling and we need something, you can find it fairly quickly.
Yes.
Some takes more time than others, and one of the things that was happening today was babysitting classes. That's ran through administration as well, right?
Yes.
So a lot about what I've learned, I think I knew a little bit that you did it, was with the prevention stuff when Rick Chase retired and some of our other prevention folks moved on, that I stepped into that role and realized administration does a ton for prevention. And you talked a little bit about that, but it's from the contractors calling in to schedule inspections to the paperwork that goes with that, to making sure inspections for our folks are scheduled for them to get out there, and creating calendars and making sure those are all coordinated together. That between Teresa, Nicole, and yourself, there's a ton of stuff that happens behind the scenes that most people don't even see that. So image trend being one of those. I know that you and Daryl have worked a ton on image trend and making some changes, and for the crews out in the field to make it a little bit easier when they go do their inspections, and so they don't lose stuff, because I know we had the issue with them go do an inspection, then they don't save it or whatever they need to do. They weren't doing those things, so then they lose stuff. So we're trying to make those things a little bit easier and user-friendly.
Yes. I write a lot of documentation. Everything that we do has a how to do this page, at least. And so the documentation for image trend for how the guys should go out and do an inspection from an engine crew perspective, with pictures, everything. There's documentation written for that. We do a lot of that. I built just recently the fire investigation module in image trend, so that they get a report that looks like what they expect it to look like and captures the information they're asking for.
Yeah, and prior to this, what Suzanne's talking about, it used to be done in a Word doc that they would come back and type that up, whatever it was, and send it to somebody else, verify it. Now it's actually in an automated image trend. So I think it's, from what the inspectors are saying, it's going to make their jobs a whole lot easier and more consistent in what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Other things in administration that you want folks to know out there, some things that people don't know about that you do, that's important.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is we do the stuff that you guys can't do. So if you need help, come to us, because we're busy. We have work. We don't sit around and just wait for the phones to ring. I know that's probably shocking, but we're happy to help and to provide the support that you need. So I recently created the wildland book that you now see in all the stations. It basically says, here are the things that you need to get to the next position that you want to if you do off-district wildland fires. So that's the kind of stuff. We don't know how to save someone's life, but we know how to make your document look like a CAFMA document, which is important to me. There's a standard of what
And
our
professional
things,
standard, yeah.
what it should look like. If it has CAFMA's name and logo on it, there's a standard of what the document should look like.
Yeah, and I think guys out in the field at stations, and when Susanne says that, it's in a manner that they're here to help you. If you have a question with something, or if you're struggling with something, absolutely call to the front office and say whatever it is. If they don't know, they're going to find out and get you the answer. But it's definitely a great resource. Fire Pals. I know I dealt with a little bit with Fire Pals with Nicole, and Teresa used to do that. Can you talk a little bit about where we're at with that, and what's the plan with that for the future?
I know that we're always recruiting Fire Pals. If you want to be a Fire Pal, give us a call in admin. We always need more Fire Pals, and it's always good to have backups. Right now the school year's over, so we're prepping for the next school year. So the lesson plans are being reviewed, the handouts, the prizes are getting ordered. We'll get all of that set up, and then as we get closer to the school year, we'll collect the schedules from the schools and the Fire Pals, and then make their boxes when they're ready to take them out and go teach a lesson.
And for those folks that don't know, Fire Pal is a curriculum that we have through administration for firefighters to go out to the schools ages kindergarten through 5th grade. Is that right?
Yes.
And teach a class, and they'll do that once a month. They have schools that they're assigned to. They'll teach that class to those kids, and then the next month will be something different in that curriculum that they'll teach. I know there's stop, drop, and roll. There's smoke alarms, and there's a lot of stuff that's in there.
Creating an escape plan if there's a fire. At some point during the year, at least one of the grades gets water safety.
Yeah.
And I don't remember all of the lessons. There's a lot.
And we're updating it as well, because I know that's one of the things that Nicole and I talked about, was some of the stuff is older and not up to date with today's society and culture and what the kids really want to learn about now. With things that are happening now are a little different than they have been in the past. So those are being updated. But I know Nicole does a great job in administration of putting that all together. So any firefighters out there with CAFMA that want to be a Fire Pal, please call to the front office, talking to Nicole. And it's a very rewarding thing when you're there with the kids and being able to see them learn some of the stuff that we're teaching to them. What else? SmartGov. I mean, SmartGov is a little bit thing of prevention for the contractors out there that they can learn about that. But can you talk a little bit about SmartGov?
We're currently in the testing phase of SmartGov, where they have started to develop our forms, and we're going through to make sure that functionally they work, they go through the correct workflow, they do the math right, all of those things. SmartGov will be just a game changer, I believe, for construction and even the workload in administration, because the contractors will be able to create an account, log in, say, hey, I need a residential sprinkler permit for this house, upload their documents, we'll review them. They'll get a notification, your submission is complete, here's the amount you owe. They make the payment. The guys in prevention get a notice that says, hey, you have plans to review. They review them, make their comments. Then the contractor gets a notification that says, your plans have been reviewed and here's the status. So I really think it'll clean up a lot of the manual work that we do. We have like 4 or 5 different spreadsheets that have to be maintained for construction projects.
And I know that's a lot of work for Teresa. When Teresa's out there, Nicole and yourself, that, like you said, we're going to hope the goal is to take a lot of that off, and it's all done electronically. And for those that don't know the SmartGov part of it, so right now, if you need a inspection done, or if you wanted to get the contractors want to turn in stuff for a fire alarm or sprinklers that they're doing in a building, they previously had brought a set of plans into our administration. They would look those over. There would be a fee that you'd pay. Then it would go to our inspectors. They would review those, and then it would come back. We've went all electronic here in the last, I don't know, what's it been, since
Probably
January we started. And
Yep.
SmartGov we kind of did a watered down version of electronic with the help from Jonah and the IT folks. And then with the SmartGov, then it will be all electronic with a program that does it all. So they'll just get on, like you said, just get online, submit it, and the rest is done electronically. You'll review them to make sure everything's accurate. But it should speed some of that process up too, that it goes to the right people immediately, as opposed to, here, let me walk this document over to you and you get it. Oh, you're not in your office, so somebody else will get it. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be very, very good. And I think contractors out there in the community are going to like it as well.
it'll absolutely streamline things and make the status available at any time.
Yeah.
Right now, you can call our office from 7 to 5,
Yeah, that's
Monday
true,
through
too.
Thursday.
Yeah.
With SmartGov, they'll be able to go online and check their status on a Friday evening or a Sunday morning or whenever they want to see what's the status of my project.
And I know the town of Prescott Valley is still doing paper, and they're talking about going to electronic, something similar to SmartGov or something that works hopefully in conjunction with SmartGov. So hopefully when that happens there, that we can help the contractors with the new builds, that they can submit it to town of Prescott Valley and be done, and that will go to us from there, as opposed to we still got to get theirs and then we got to scan them, or we got to have the architects send us the document. So yeah, I think by the end of the year, I think what we've been doing and where we are will be a drastic change for the better. So we have one vacant position in administration.
Yes, we do.
What's your plan to fill that, or what are we looking for in that?
Well, with the new things that we have coming online, so we've just moved to the compliance engine for the contractor reports in prevention. We're getting ready to launch SmartGov, and then with PS Tracks that you have going in planning and logistics. I'm waiting until we see how that really impacts our workload and what I'm looking for specifically. Our admin one position is an entry-level position. It doesn't require a lot of experience or knowledge, but I know that there will be some specific things that we still need. We have worked really hard in my time in administration to create better efficiencies, but also redundancy. So everyone cross-trains. Everyone knows how to do what someone else does, except now we don't, because we're missing a person. And because you stole Kathy, there are some things that where I was the redundancy, now I'm the it. And so I'm training people to carry some of those things that Kathy used to do. So there are some things that need to come off my plate. So I will be looking for maybe not a specific skill set, but definitely the person who likes a specific type of work. What we do is administration, but it's very, very diverse. Some of my people are good with Excel. Some of them hate Excel and freak out if I tell them they have to do something in Excel. So everyone has kind of their own niche, and what I'm waiting to find out is what's the niche I'm looking for.
Yeah. And I think it'll be very good. And I'm glad that you're doing that, and not just let's find another person, we'll train them whenever that happens, as opposed to let's see what we need when all these items are in place, and maybe the need's different by the time that happens. So I think that's good. And just so you know, Kathy volunteered to come over to this position. So
No, I'm sorry. She was absolutely poached.
Goodness
I think she came in.
gracious, Chief.
She was
I think she came
absolutely
into my office and
poached.
said, I said, do you want to, I would absolutely love to. You're okay with leaving, Susanne? Oh, yeah, I would love
Oh,
to.
good night. I think enough of us know who you are, Chief Rose, to know what really happened in that room.
We're glad to have her, though. She's done a great job.
I tell you what, though, admin was absolutely incredible, and I would absolutely go back.
Yeah, and for those of you watching that are interested and know people that would be interested in a position, to watch for that in the next couple months, that there'll be something out there. We'll know what it is more as we get some of these programs underway, but watch for that.
Follow us on social media for that announcement.
Yeah, that's interesting. Coming from the community relations
That's right.
director. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, just remember we're here to support you. We're here to help. Whether it's I don't know how to use my Outlook calendar, or I need help with a document, just give us a call. Stop by the office and see us.
Yes.
Because we like having visitors. I think the most important thing to know about what we do in admin is we have fun because we all genuinely like each other and we love what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have the most fun.
I can tell you from my standpoint, come from operations, and it's, hey, call admin, and they do some things, and I don't really know what they do, but when I was going to test for battalion chief, I know that I went into administration, all the other divisions sat down like, what do you really do? I got a little bit of an idea, but now being in my position now, it's definitely eye-opening of there's a ton that goes on within administration that people don't know about. That there's 5-6 people in there that are very busy doing lots of things for the folks out within the rest of the organization. So thank you for all that, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to see who the new person is and what they do. And that's all we have for this week's CAFMA Connect. Thank you, and Chief Freitag, we'll see you next week.